Hi everyone, welcome back to Novel Nomad and welcome to day 14 of Vlogmas. I think, is that halfway through? That's past halfway through, right? So it's past halfway through of Vlogmas. I'm staying strong, which is fantastic. But what I wanted to do today is a really cute recommendation from Sharon W. I regged you a comment on my very first Vlogmas video for asking for recommendations, and her recommendation was to do a video of books that spelled out Christmas. So this is quite fun. I've had the song Love in my head. I'm not sure if you know it, I'll link it down below. But I literally had that song. I'm not singing the title of the books that's to spell Christmas. Trust me, no. But I will go through the books. So I've tried to pick a really diverse range just to get a bit of a different look at my bookshelves, because usually I do like top fives and TBRs and recommendations and things like that, but this is a bit fun, so I wanted to be a bit more fun in showing the different books that I have. And I have picked up some pretty ones as well if you want for Christmas recommendations, because we are getting to the nail-biting end of the Christmas season. So if you haven't gone out and bought a book yet for someone, or if you're wanting to buy a book and you're not sure what they like, hopefully this will give you some inspiration. Okay, so C is for Crow Country by Mark Cocker. Now this is part of these beautiful vintage series that the Sting in the Tail by Dave Goulson, that was also, his book was in that collection. So I wanted to collect a few more nature non-fiction books. I think I also have The Running Sky. Oh no, yeah, The Running Sky, and also H is for Hawk, which I read and love. So H is for Hawk, The Running Sky, and I think Sting in the Tail are fantastic. I yet to read Crow Country though. So what it is the author himself, Mark Cocker, he becomes absolutely fascinated with all these jays, and I think it's in England, so they are rooks and jackdaws. I think ours are crows and magpies here, but rooks and jackdaws, and these are usually commonplace birds, and they just absolutely entranced him. So it was just really beautiful to see people who are so passionate about nature around them and just wanting to understand more. And I think we all need to do that, just to understand a little bit better. Okay, so next is H for Howls Moving Castle, and I have the absolutely stunning folio edition. I did, as soon as that it kind of came out first as a competition, so they got all these illustrators to put in different color plates and everything that how they would illustrate Howl's Moving Castle, and then you could vote on your favorite. This was the winner, so this is the one that actually was selected to be printed. It is so beautiful, absolutely stunning. Each chapter has its own little illustration, but the actual full pieces, like you have Howl there, Howl and Sophie, they are just stunning. It's so whimsical. It just reminds me so much of those beautiful classic children's illustrations, and I love Howl's Moving Castle. So if you do want to have a bit more of a absolute treat, and also the I can't remember, sleeve. The box sleeve is also illustrated as well. So if you do want to have more of a absolutely stunning gift to give to someone, I would absolutely recommend Howl's Moving Castle, or any folio editions really. But Howl's is just that beautiful blend of magic realism, magic, romance, adventure, self-development, self-finding. It's just beautiful. I thoroughly love that book. R is for Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. Now I haven't read the series yet. I have just finished I'm finishing up the series before this, which features the main character in this book, her grandson. So this is kind of like a prequel to the, I think, the Jalan series. I can't remember. He's like he's like a trickster, jokester one. So yeah, so this is the retelling, and it focuses mainly on female characters within this highly dark fantasy dystopian world, and they are kick-ass. The third book in this series has already come out. I waited for it because I know with me with series I'm terrible at waiting. So I wanted to wait at least until all of them are out so I could binge. But yeah, so Red Sister, I love these covers. I'm not the biggest fan of the UK and Australian covers, so I did fork out a little bit extra just to get the American covers. So next is I, and that is for In Love with George Eliot by Cathy O'Shaughnessy. And I want to say a big wonderful thank you to Scribe Publications, who I entered into a competition and I won this. Thank you so much for picking me and sending me this amazing book. Mainly it's a fiction book, and it follows a woman who kind of falls in love with George Eliot later in life, and she just, well, I mean, obviously that's the title, but it's just like going into, it's kind of like a dual narrative following George Eliot's life, and then also following into this woman's exploration of George Eliot, who she is, how she affects women today, and you know, all these contradictory terms and things around, because I want to be in love with George Eliot. I feel like she is a writer I can greatly respect and admire, but I have yet to read it. I am having that, you know, I'm daunted by it. So I feel like I want to get to know her more. So I'm thinking I'm going to read a biography. I really, really want to read this. It's just come out. It is beautiful. Like, it's got that kind of pattern going all the way around. And it just sounds stunning, and I feel like I'm in the same place as this woman. I want to understand George Eliot more, and I want to get into her work. So the first S in Christmas is for Stay Where You Are and Then Leave by John Boyne. Now, John Boyne is coming to Adelaide Writers Week. I'm praying that doesn't change, because I am so in love with his writing. He wrote Boy in the Striped Pyjamas, which I'm sure everyone will know of. Movie, everything, huge acclaim as a book. I think it's middle grade. This one's middle grade as well. And then I also love his adult books, which is, I want to read The Heart's Invisible Furies, but Ladder to the Sky is hands down freaking amazing. So I cannot wait to read more of his works and then get to meet him at Adelaide Writers Week. Next, I have a non-fiction, and a bit more instructive one at that, and that is The New Plant Parent, because I have fallen into the craze of indoor plants, and this is actually really quite helpful, because obviously you have to care for your plants, and I am just in love with how detailed this book is. It has pictures to show you what to do. It talks about all the different watering schedules and cycles, the amount of light, everything that you need to keep your indoor plants happy and healthy. And so I had to get this book because unfortunately one of mine died on me. So far that's only been the one, so I'm pretty proud so far. Only one plant's died, and it wasn't a cactus, so it was another plant that can die. It's not as hardy as a cactus, but yeah, so this is my tea if you're looking for someone who wants to get into the plant craze or wants to be a better indoor plant parent. This is a fantastic choice for Christmas. It's very helpful. Next is M, and I picked up Monster, She Wrote. This is actually a really fascinating book following the different women who really pioneered like sci-fi and this kind of dystopian fiction, and how they all like horror as well. And so of course the reason why this came up on my radar, and I was so excited when we did get it in, is because Mary Shelley is featured quite prominently in the book, and obviously for her work Frankenstein, which if you've been watching my channel for a while you know is one of my all-time favourites. So M for Monster, She Wrote. A is for Autobiography by Christian Lauren. Now Christian Lauren, I haven't even read any of their works. They're a duo author team that write really popular romance books, and I still haven't read any. But Autobiography is a bit of a YA read, hugely popular. It took me forever to get this book in because we kept selling out at my work. But yeah, so Autobiography follows a young boy who's really struggling to find his identity within his local community, and he identifies within the LGBTQ spectrum. And it is beautiful because it's a book about kindness, love and acceptance, so everyone needs a bit more of that at Christmas time. And lastly, the last S for Christmas is going to be a book I want to read next year, and that is Someone at a Distance by Dorothy Ripple. This is a Persephone classic. They do the coloured and classics, and they have the like design that they normally would have in colour on the greys in grey on the inside, so they're keeping the Persephone grey. Kate Howe absolutely adored this book. She said it was a really beautiful read and it really like spoke to her. So as soon as Kate Howe recommends anything, I'm there. So I just really, really wanted to get onto this book for next year because if you've seen my Persephone book haul, I have definitely picked up quite a few Dorothy Ripples, so I need to make a head start into her reads. So Someone at a Distance, I think, is going to be a wonderful read for 2020. Okay, so those are the books that spoil Christmas, and I hope they give you some inspiration to read, purchase, or enjoy this Christmas season. So thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.